It was a Tuesday, one of those dim, forgettable midweek afternoons that pass through the year without leaving a mark, when she finally decided to say it. Not out of impulse, not because she was overwhelmed, but because she'd waited long enough to be sure it wasn't just in her head. She had rehearsed the words more times than she cared to admit, alone in her apartment, in the car, in front of the mirror. Not grand words. Just honest ones. Clean. Without decoration. The kind that don't try to convince, only reveal. She loved him. She knew it. And she believed, in the quiet way people believe in rain returning or birds migrating, that he felt it too, even if he never said it, even if their time together remained undefined, unclaimed, soft around the edges like a dream she hadn't dared to wake from. They had met months ago. By accident. Work had been the excuse, but connection had been immediate, not romantic in the way movies show it, not dramatic or cinematic, but simple, human, real. He made her laugh when her mind was heavy, listened to her with a kind of attentiveness that had become rare in her life, and most of all, he stayed. Not all the time, not with promises, but with presence. He was there. He showed up. There were mornings they spent walking without destination, talking about nothing. Nights with tea, with music low, with his jacket hanging on the back of her kitchen chair. He didn't call it anything. Neither did she. But it lived between them, that unspoken current. And she, for the first time in years, felt like she didn't have to ask to be held in someone's thoughts. So she chose that day. The sky was flat. The wind mild. She wore the navy coat he once said made her look like she belonged in some old black and white photograph. In her pocket, a note she had written the night before, just in case the words didn't come when needed. He was supposed to meet her at the cafe near the square, the one with the heavy wooden tables and the tulips in a glass by the window. She arrived early. Ordered for both of them. Checked her phone once. Twice. No message. And then, casually, with no wait or warning, it happened. She was scrolling through a gallery page, something she knew he'd contributed to, when she saw the photo. Not of him. Of her. A woman. Smiling. In a park. Wearing a ring. Holding his hand. The caption was ordinary. A weekend shot. No tags. Just a moment in a life. But it was unmistakably his life. And the hand he held was not hers. She didn't move at first. Didn't close the app. Didn't look away from the photo. Her hand remained resting on the table, fingers wrapped loosely around the handle of the untouched cup. The tulips beside her leaned slightly toward the window, and somewhere outside a child was laughing, clear, bright, completely unaware of the sudden stillness that had crept into her. It wasn't shock. Not really. It was the precise stillness of realization. The kind that arrives not with questions, but with an absence of them. Because there was nothing left to ask. There he was, in the photo, unmistakably him, wearing that same black sweater she had once fallen asleep against, smiling in a way she'd seen dozens of times across her own kitchen counter, holding the hand of a woman she had never known existed. A woman who wasn't hiding. Who wasn't a secret. Who, by the looks of it, had never been anything but part of his life. Openly. Proudly. Fully.